right, back to our top story now. The Western Cape High Court delivered a major ruling regarding the parliamentary impeachment inquiry against President Cyril Ramaphosa. By a split decision, the full bench granted the president an urgent interim interdict, temporarily halting Parliament's Section 89 impeachment committee from proceeding with the public hearings. This is into his conduct surrounding the Phala Phala game farm saga. Let's unpack this further with political analyst, Professor Andre Duvenhage. Prof, a very good evening to you. Thank you for your time. Now, the judgment interdicts public impeachment hearings until the main review is heard, and this is in September. In a GNU, where the ANC actually does lack an absolute majority, how does this temporary judicial reprieve shift the bargaining leverage that the ANC has in the coalition?
Good evening, Mpumalelo and the viewers. Yes, indeed, it was a very important decision, not only from a legal point of view, but also from a political point of view. Now, your question is more focusing on the political side, and that is the Government of National Unity. We know the ANC support base is only around 40%. They do not have a majority, and depending on what may happen, we can get a scenario where parties may reposition themselves. But I believe the current situation with the temporary interdict will stabilize the Government of National Unity at least until September, when we have the formal assessment of the report of the Nkombo group and get an assessment of that. Now, Nkombo's argument was that there was a prima facie case. The court is going to test that. And then we are playing with a number of scenarios. Let's say the courts argue there's a prima facie case, then it will go back to the Article 89 committee in Parliament, and they must make an assessment about the fitness of Mr. Ramaphosa to keep his position, and then there will be a vote in this regard. And it is an open question how this will influence the balance of power, and it will be influenced depending on how it play out in the different phases of the process.
Prof, so it's interesting that you say that in the foreseeable future, well, at least until September, that, relations will be stabilized amongst the GNU partners. But does this ruling not risk worsening tensions between the partners, especially those who favor strict legislative accountability and an ANC that is seemingly seeking to shield its leader ahead of that September review?
Well, I think the ANC will definitely shield their leader, and they came out very strong in support of the decision by the Western Cape Higher Court. But the big question is, where will the Democratic Alliance position themselves? They have about 20% of the support. What I am picking up is that they are not going to take any action outside of the formal legal and constitutional processes. So at least from their point of view, I am reading it as relatively stable. Now, many things can happen in politics, but I think the Democratic Alliance will keep to the process and the decision of the Western Cape Higher Court. They will wait for a decision during September or later on, and then act accordingly. And I think this will bring stability. But if it went the other way, where we had a scenario where the higher court now say the Parliament and the Article 89 Commission can continue with their work, then I believe we may see patterns of instability, because we will hear testimonies, parties will position themselves accordingly, and it will be an open question if the DA, if criticizing the president, it's not going to make the relationships within the government of national unity more difficult. Therefore, I'm arguing that I think there will be in the immediate future more stability as a result of this decision.
Prof, the DA has been quiet, rather quiet. I mean, they said that they noted today's decision and that they would be going through the full judgment ahead of saying anything significant, really. But even going into this matter, they had said that, you know, because of their relationship in this GNU with the ANC, they had taken a slight step back. Is this, do you think, in just trying to create an environment where it is peaceful ahead of the local government elections, where then they would start making a noise, particularly before, you know, after September, just ahead of November 4th? Why do you think that they have taken this decision?
My take on it is that one of the main objectives of the Democratic Alliance is to keep the MK party, the EFF, and other radical groupings out of political power. And this necessitates, in some ways, a good relationship with the ANC. And therefore, I believe they will rather maintain a better relationship with the ANC, because you need to take into consideration that the EFF was behind the initiative to take the Phala Phala case to the Constitutional Court, and we know that it is also supported by the MK party. So I read the relationship between the DA and the radical groups as critical important in this regard.
And what should the president's primary legal as well as political moves be between now and September 4th?
Well, I think the president should prepare himself to take on the Nkobo report to see if they can assess some problem areas within the report, some findings that aren't what it should be, and see if they can motivate that this report is not what it should be and that there's no ground for impeachment of the president. I believe that will be their strategy. And the DA will follow the line in terms of the legal processes. If the legal processes find the president guilty, they will act accordingly. And if it is not the case, they will complete their position or take on their position within the government of national unity. But I think at the moment, the legal process is going to be the most critical process for President Ramaphosa.
And of course, we have parties such as the EFF and MK party, Prof, framing then this legal process that you speak of as an instrument used by the executive to evade accountability, while the ANC frames it as a defender of due process. Are we entering a dangerous territory where we're seeing a phase of judicial politicization, where court decisions are actually delegitimizing the politics?
Well, I think we already had this in South African politics. We have seen under state capture, which I believe is continuing even until this day, that there is interventions in the criminal justice system, political interventions, so it's not going to be something new. What I can say about this judgment we are talking about is that this is following the rule of law principle. There are a number of technical difficulties in terms of the relationship between the higher court and the Constitutional Court with regard to this decision. But generally speaking, it is following the principles of constitutionalism as well as the rule of law. However, when it comes to groupings like the EFF and the MK party, we have seen them undermining legal processes in terms of what we come to know as Stalingrad type of tactics. And we know that old President Zuma is a specialist in this regard. So I am not taking them very serious in terms of these accusations, and we must also take the fact into consideration that this is only a temporary form of interdict. It's not an open interdict where you can interdict the parliament on a permanent basis. So what will happen during September and maybe shortly after September will be critical. I haven't seen a timeline given by the Western Cape Higher Court, but I believe it's not going to be an open time system. It's going to be relatively short.
Sure. And Prof, just as we close, I mean, the judgment does note that if the review fails, the president may seek further stays pending on the appeals. But from a party political standpoint, can the ANC actually afford a drawn-out legal battle that keeps the Phala-Phala shadow hanging over the president's head, especially in light of the elections?
Well, I think it come at a very, very negative time for the president. There's no doubt that the president is currently in a very difficult position. There's a succession battle going on within his party. There's the Maslanga Commission with its dynamics. He is busy with the Phala-Phala thing that is driven from the side of the MK party, where Arthur Fraser played a very important role in this regard. So I think the ANC's perspective is to get it over and done as soon as possible, especially with an eye on the election on the 4th of November, or at least stabilize the process towards the election and fight the battle on after the election of November 2026.
Prof, thank you very much for your time. That's political analyst, Professor Andre Duvenhage. Now,